Where if I was in a bit more of like a falconry setting, just out walking around, I might prefer to just wait to let them come to me instead. So it kind of all depends on situations and stuff like that. I'm never actually worried about losing this bird. It just allows me to get him back to work a little bit faster. That's really the main purpose of the GPS.
If you go into some of the places that we go to for work, it's pretty disgusting. And I mean, they'll live in conditions where you're like, I don't even know how you're raising young. I mean, sometimes they'll lay eggs, the eggs will hatch, and because of where they put them, like they'll just accidentally knock their young off the side. So you'll just find their young on the sidewalk, or a young will die and they'll just lay eggs on top of that dead young and keep going. They are gross creatures in a sense, especially when they're introduced to a human food source. They'll dumpster dive in grease bins. They'll eat foods they're not supposed to, which makes them sick. So rats with wings, it's a very accurate description. We've been to some places where there's stalagmite of pigeon crap, this tall. And it's so bad, we actually have to wear hazmat suits to go in there. But once we remove them, I mean, it's beautiful. The area looks great.
So these are one of those really bad extreme cases. We don't get too many of these. The average solar panel customer has anywhere between 15 to 30 pigeons, and we can usually just clear them out. So we still have a couple of pigeons that are underneath it. So you can see here they've had some solar panels done before, but these weren't done correctly. They didn't secure them into the actual solar panels, so now they're falling off. Pigeons can get back underneath. So that's where just using a simple CO2 pistol is great, especially this close. The main air cannons won't do anything from the ground or at any significant range, but it's enough to euthanize the pigeon. Check this side, you can see there's still some pigeons under here. There's a ton of them under here. This is a problem that they try to fix, but they didn't offer any type of trapping program, which is the traditional response. When you do solar panels and they're this bad, you have to remove the pigeons one way or another, otherwise they'll still be here. A lot of pest control companies will allegedly propose that they catch and release, but even if you release these pigeons in, say, New Mexico or even in Texas, you're talking about a bird that can do well over highway speeds at a cruising altitude, several thousand feet. So most likely the pigeon will beat you back home. Judging by all the feces accumulation and all the whitewash staining, we're dealing with a large pigeon population, and because they're so persistent and this exclusion wasn't done right, it's just, eventually it's gonna pop out and the pigeons are gonna get back underneath again.
Air cannons are not firearms. They're just a BB gun with using air. Instead of a spring, they're using air. It's a very safe and easily used piece of equipment for pigeon control, what we use out here. So in situations where I take a hawk and it's too dangerous to go fly that hawk in this area, there's too many cars. We do a lot of high-rise buildings in Phoenix, and so that's 50, 60 stories up. I mean, a hawk, as much as you think they can fly with their prey, they don't. They fall. Falling 50, 60 stories, that's a long ways down. So I have to sit there and go, okay, what's safe for my animals? What's safe for my handlers? Because my number one's the handlers, and then my number two are the birds. I've had birds get stuck underneath AC units because they blocked off the bottom of the AC unit with netting or fencing, and now my bird's stuck up on a roof.